Have you ever wondered what separates a sleeping person from someone wide awake? Or what divides human awareness from that of animals? The phenomenon we call consciousness exists on a spectrum, a sliding scale of awareness that shapes every moment of our existence. Today, we explore the fascinating journey through every level of consciousness. From the deepest sleep to the highest peaks of human awareness. At the foundation of human experience lies what scientists call the unconscious state. This is the baseline, the starting point. During dreamless sleep, the unconscious mind is largely offline. The brain maintains basic functions. It keeps our heart beating, ensures we breathe, maintains our body temperature, but our subjective experience, our sense of self, fades into nothingness. For most of the night, we exist in this realm of no consciousness. Yet the brain never truly stops working. Even in this state, it processes information, consolidates memories, and prepares for the next day of consciousness. From this deepest level emerges the state of dreaming. Here, consciousness awakens, but in a peculiar way. During REM sleep, when dreams occur, our brain becomes remarkably active. Neural activity spikes in regions associated with emotion, memory, and imagination. Yet we are paralyzed. Our eyes move rapidly beneath closed lids, but our body remains still. In dreams, we experience narratives that make sense while we are in them, yet dissolve into absurdity upon waking. We might find ourselves flying, or speaking with people long dead, or navigating impossible landscapes. This is consciousness without the anchor of reality, a state where logic takes a back seat to pure emotion and association. Dreams occupy a unique position in our mental landscape, neither fully asleep nor awake. As morning approaches, consciousness begins its ascent. The transition toward wakefulness is gradual. We enter a hypnagogic state, that twilight zone between sleep and full alertness where dreams begin to fragment. This liminal space is where many creative insights emerge. Some of history's greatest discoveries have come during these moments of partial consciousness. Thomas Edison famously held ball bearings in his hand while napping. As he drifted into deeper sleep, his hand would relax, the bearings would fall and clatter, waking him. He would jot down the thoughts that emerged from this threshold state. Then comes the moment of awakening. The brain's arousal systems activate. Neurotransmitters flood the neural landscape. Consciousness floods back in waves. Colors become vivid again. Sounds regain their meaning. Your sense of self crystallizes. You are suddenly aware of your body, your location, your plans for the day. This most of us operate in throughout our waking hours. We are aware, attentive to our surroundings, capable of performing routine tasks. We can drive to work while mentally rehearsing a conversation. We can talk with a friend while simultaneously planning dinner. This waking consciousness is remarkable, yet we often take it for granted. But consciousness does not stop here. Beyond this baseline awareness lies a deeper level of presence that some call mindfulness or focused attention. When you concentrate intently on a single task, consciousness narrows and deepens. A musician playing a challenging piece must enter this state. A surgeon performing delicate operations requires this level of focus. In these moments, the irrelevant fades away. Your awareness becomes laser-like. Time seems to distort. Athletes call this being in the zone. It is a state where skill and attention merge so completely that action flows without conscious deliberation. Your training takes over, but you remain acutely aware, hyper-present. This heightened focus is consciousness operating at an elevated intensity. Some people develop the ability to maintain awareness of their own consciousness. This metacognitive awareness, the ability to observe your own thoughts, represents another level entirely. When you catch yourself in negative thinking and deliberately shift your perspective, you are exhibiting metacognition. When you realize you have been lost in thought and redirect your attention, you have stepped back to observe your own mind. This skill can be developed through meditation and contemplative practices. Buddhist monks who have spent decades in meditation cultivate extraordinary abilities in this realm. They can observe the arising and passing of thoughts with equanimity, watching the stream of consciousness as if it were clouds passing through the sky. Meditation opens doorways to even more subtle states of consciousness. As practitioners deepen their practice, they report states of profound peace and clarity. Some describe a consciousness without object, awareness without specific content. The mind settles into a state of pure being. Research has shown that during deep meditation, activity in the brain's default mode network, the circuit involved in self-referential thinking, dramatically decreases. The sense of separation between observer and observed begins to dissolve. Some mystics throughout history have described experiencing non-dual consciousness, a state beyond the subject-object divide. Whether this represents a fundamental truth about consciousness or a particular neurological state remains a matter of philosophy and neuroscience. Flow states represent another distinct level of consciousness. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi spent decades studying these moments when people become completely immersed in an activity. A rock climber scaling a vertical face, a dancer lost in rhythm, a painter applying brushstrokes with total absorption. In flow, your skills are perfectly matched to the challenge at hand. Neither boredom nor anxiety arise. Time warps. Self-consciousness vanishes. The activity becomes intrinsically rewarding. Flow is consciousness pointed toward action, fully engaged with the present moment. Many people report that flow states are among the most meaningful moments of their lives. Now we must consider consciousness beyond the individual human. Animal consciousness presents a fascinating frontier. A dog greets its owner with obvious joy. An elephant appears to mourn its dead. Dolphins demonstrate complex social behaviors and problem-solving abilities. Octopuses perform remarkable feats of intelligence. The question of whether these creatures possess consciousness, whether they have subjective experience, remains hotly debated. Most scientists agree that consciousness exists on a continuum. Simple organisms like insects may possess minimal consciousness, perhaps just basic sentience, without any sense of self. As brain complexity increases, consciousness becomes richer. Primates clearly demonstrate self-awareness. They recognize themselves in mirrors. They can predict the mental states of others. Their consciousness likely resembles ours in significant ways. This leads us to consider consciousness without human brains. As artificial intelligence systems become more sophisticated, what emerges from this exploration is a portrait of consciousness as multi-layered and deeply mysterious. It is not a single thing, but a spectrum of awareness ranging from minimal to profound. It is shaped by biology, yet perhaps not entirely reducible to it. It appears in organisms across the tree of life in various forms. It can be cultivated and deepened through practice. It can be explored through meditation, psychedelics, artistic endeavor, and athletic pursuit. It remains fundamentally mysterious even to those who dedicate their lives to understanding it. The journey through levels of consciousness is ultimately a journey into what makes us fundamentally alive. It is the light by which we see, the awareness by which we know, the presence through which we experience existence. Whether consciousness is a cosmic fundamental or an emergent property of matter, it remains the most immediate and undeniable aspect of our being. In every level of consciousness, from the unconscious depths of sleep to the transcendent heights of mystical experience, lies a doorway into the nature of existence itself. Understanding these levels of consciousness is not merely an intellectual exercise. It is an exploration of what it means to be alive. As consciousness continues to evolve both personally and collectively, we stand at a remarkable juncture in history. Never before have we possessed such detailed knowledge of the brain's functioning alongside such sophisticated philosophical and contemplative frameworks for understanding consciousness. The meeting of ancient wisdom traditions and modern neuroscience promises to revolutionize our understanding of what consciousness is and what it might become. The levels of consciousness extend before us like an unexplored landscape. Some have been mapped, many more await discovery. The journey inward, toward ever deeper understanding of consciousness itself, may prove to be the most important journey humanity can undertake.